Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is doing well. I want to bring a story to you about the California wildfires, but from a different perspective. My heart goes out to anybody that has lost anything. I don't care if you're rich or poor, whatever. You work to buy the things that you need. You have, treasures. You have things that are important and valuable and sentimental to you. So when you lose those things, regardless of how you lose them, like it's devastating. So, my heart goes out to anyone who has lost something uh, as a result of the California wildfires. But I want to talk about the insurance piece because this is a trend that I have been paying attention to since a little bit, well, I want to say probably since like 2014, 2015. Having lived in Florida and having seen firsthand, what insurance companies had, started doing, canceling policies when the um, hurricanes started coming in so frequently, they were having so many losses and having to pay out so much that they started canceling policies and then they started leaving the state. And I'm starting to see the same pattern happen in other places, especially in coastal states where, you know, people have historically lived because the climate is nice, because it's close to water, whatever the reason. There is a trend going on with these insurance companies. You pay them for decades. You pay them, you can't own nothing without having insurance. And then when you need the insurance ain't there for you. And this is a trend that started happening in Florida. And not only were policies being canceled, but the premiums were so expensive that a lot of people could no longer afford to have a mortgage, and they would either have to get rid of the property or the property would go into foreclosure. But this is going to be a continuing trend, especially in places that are slated to become 15-minute cities, or these A21 cities, or all whatever kind of name they got for them. They got all kind of, you know uh, cities that are linked to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So we need to pay attention to this story because this demonstrates it doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if you're poor, it doesn't matter where you live. Anybody can suffer a loss as a result of natural disasters, one or many. You could live in a place that is subject to experience lots of natural disasters, whether they are created by the fallen angels or natural as a result of judgment by the Most High. We need to be prepared. You need to be prepared to exit. You need to have prepared. You be prepared to hunker down. You need to be prepared to move. You even need to be prepared to be homeless. You need to be prepared to be wet. You need to be prepared. It's just that season of Babylon, in Babylon. And I'm just talking about this because I want us to really be thinking proactively, and not, though that's happening over there and it could never happen to me. It could happen to anybody. Everybody ought to be thinking about how I'm going to be homeless. How will I live if I have to be homeless? What if you don't have money for a hotel? What if there ain't going to be no government assistance? Because the government can't help everybody. They ain't finished helping the people in North Carolina get on their feet. They never did finish helping the people during Hurricane Katrina. Like, they never finished the job. They'll do something, but usually the intervention is, it just makes everything worse. Like, you see people have FEMA trailers, but then the FEMA trailers are made of cancerous material. You can't leave them because you can't afford to. You don't have any money. You have to relocate. You got to start over. So it's like it's gonna be difficult. People are going to be uprooted, displaced, and wherever people go to, the people in the communities where they are going to be relocated to are going to struggle as well, because they're going to have an influx of people coming that they didn't anticipate. Um, Also, you got to be on the lookout for all these infrastructure projects. There's new apartments being built all over the place, high rise apartments, even in rural areas. Broadband internet is being laid everywhere, even along highways in rural areas. And it's like, why we need internet out here? Nobody even hardly living out here, but they want to make sure every piece of America is connected. And they have these projects and these agendas. This is a year that stuff got to happen, and a lot of shit, excuse my expression, a lot of shit is gonna happen this year. Been talking about it. 2025 is here. It ain't disappointed yet, and not a day goes by something don't happen. Several somethings don't happen. So we have to be prepared. You gotta be proactive. You gotta just be thinking. This could be me, and what can I do? If I have to leave, how will I leave? If I gotta move my stuff, what's the most valuable, precious things that I'm gonna need? How can I live and be homeless? If I got a car, do I got everything I need to live in my car? If I don't have money because my money got burned up, or just whatever. Maybe the grocery stores in the area are out of commission, and you are dislocated, but you don't necessarily have money. Maybe you have to leave, and you don't have your purse. You don't have anything on you. You don't have a way to identify yourself. You don't have bank cards. Maybe there's no power. Think in terms of hardships. I told you got to start thinking primitively. Candles and lamps, and just seriously. And I am not by any stretch of the imagination being a clown. I'm serious. I have been telling y'all for the last couple of years these times were coming, and they're here, and nobody knows when they're going to be next. So we just got to be ready, and we got to talk about these things so that it can get your mind spinning. You can share it with other people, because other people are afraid to think like this. Everybody thinks it ain't going to happen to me until it happens to you. And when you had time to prepare, or they had time to prepare, they didn't, because they were afraid. They didn't want to talk about it, whatever. So we have to really change our mindsets and be serious about survival, because he that endureth to the end will get to make it to the kingdom. Now I know we don't want to live through all this other stuff, but still, I don't know how far into this thing we're gonna have to go before we are delivered. So we just gotta think we gotta survive until we deliver, whatever that deliverance looks like. It could be unalived by the adversary, or by intentional or accidental, or it could be you're delivered by the Most High supernaturally. However it happens, you got to be ready to survive. So let's get into this story. So it says California insurer canceled policies months before Los Angeles wildfires. And I will try to attach the story that I did about that. I think I did it sometime last year, maybe 2 years ago. But I know I did a video about what was going on in Florida and some of the other places where disasters had happened. People had insurance policies canceled en masse. They could not get their homes reinsured, and or they had insurance, and the insurance policies were insurance companies were giving them a very hard time about paying out. So either way, you're gonna get screwed. And so this is what's happening. The Ponzi schemes are up. We're gonna be collateral damage, and you need to keep that at the forefront of your mind as well. We are collateral damage. State Farm, one of the biggest insurers in California, canceled hundreds of homeowners owners' policies last summer in Pacific Palisades, the same area which is now being ravaged by a devastating wildfire. The move was justified by the company, and State Farm was one of the companies that I was telling y'all about that was doing this. They were almost insolvent, and I will also attach that video to the end of this video so that you can see it. And I just want to, share with you that these are things that I've been paying attention to, trends, things that, will impact all of us. Even if you rent someplace, your homeowner could be impacted. So, you know, it's just stuff we need to be paying attention to. Um, the move was justified by the company as an attempt to avoid financial failure, as the frequency and severity of wildfires is growing in the Golden State, especially in at-risk zones. But as multiple fires currently burning through Southern California threaten to cause devastating losses for residents, many will likely need to rely on their insurers to get back on their feet after the blazes are contained. Quote, our number one priority right now is the safety of our customers, agents, and employees impacted by the fires and in assisting our customers in the midst of this tragedy, end quote. A spokesperson from State Farm told Newsweek in response to a request for comment on Wednesday. Newsweek contacted the office of Commissioner Ricardo Lara for a comment by email on Wednesday early morning outside of standard working hours. Why it matters. Several private insurers have cut coverage in at-risk areas across California in the past 3 years, leaving homeowners scrambling to find options for coverage. As a result, California's FAIR plan, which works as an insurer of last resort in the state, has more than doubled its policies between 2020 and 2024, reaching a total of 452,000, as reported by Cap Radio. Now, this is problematic because this makes the government the insurer of last resort, which means taxpayers are also on the hook for this. So the states are, creating insurance exchanges as corporations are dumping, you know, um, policies because they don't want to pay out anymore. It's very unfortunate, but this is what it's going to be. This is going to be a pattern you're going to see across um, the business industry for whatever. It's going to be car insurance, it's going to be home insurance, it's going to be renter's insurance, it's going to be all kinds of stuff. And we're going to end up paying for it. So we need to be prepared. We need to brace for it. And you need to be prepared to possibly lose and not be able to rebuild, or lose and go from being an owner to a renter, or lose all your precious valuables and memories. So again, it's something to think about, and we really need to watch what's going on in other places. Most insurers have limited their offer in the state mentioned, with rising wildfire risk as well as states' regulations as the main reasons behind their decision. Unable to increase their premiums to a level that will match their growing risk, companies have decided instead to cut coverage. This has triggered an ongoing property insurance sector crisis in the Golden State, as homeowners are finding it increasingly harder to find coverage at a time when they so desperately need it. So, and that's meant to make people leave. And so when you leave, or whenever a crisis happens and you're burned out or whatever, you can't come back, somebody will offer you a couple pennies for your property, and because you're destitute, you'll take it, and then voila, your 15-minute city is on the way. There are 3 fires currently burning in Southern California: Palisades, Eaton, and Hearst. The Palisades fire started on Tuesday evening and scorched the affluent neighborhood of Pacific Palisades, spurred on by strong winds. As of Tuesday night, It was estimated to have burned 2,900 acres. The Eaton fire started near Pasadena in Eden Canyon on Tuesday evening. It was estimated to have burned 1,000 acres as of later that same night. Another fire in Hearst was reported burning near San Fernando on Tuesday evening, according to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. The Angeles National Forest wrote on X on Tuesday night that the fire had spread across approximately 500 acres. The fires continue to burn across Southern California as of Wednesday early morning, propelled by wind gusts gusting at nearly 100 miles per hour, which is crazy. So, who was affected by State Farm's cancellations? State Farm announced in April 2024, that it would have canceled a total of 72,000 policies in the state for houses and apartments, 30,000 of which were homes, as reported by ABC 7. According to State Farm, about 1,600 insured homes in Pacific Palisades lost coverage because of the decision. That's a lot of rich people who don't have, who possibly either didn't have insurance or, um, had to pay an astronomical amount for homeowners insurance, which is why a lot of the celebrities are saying, hey, something ain't right. To cancel the insurance, then our stuff burned down. So, you can kind of understand why some of these celebrities are upset. The move came 9 months after State Farm announced it wouldn't issue new homeowners policies in California. And this is a current trend because it's also happening in other states. Some zip codes saw a large percentage of their policies with State Farm being discontinued. More than 65% of policies in zip code 95033 in Santa Cruz Mountains ended last summer. In 95409 near Santa Rosa, nearly 48% were canceled, as reported by CBS News. A complete list of State Farm cancellations in summer 2024 can be found at the very bottom of this article. So we already know why they canceled so many. They don't want to pay nothing. So it's costly. These wildfires are costing these insurance companies a lot of money, and everybody's in business to make money, not pay out money. As long as you have to pay them and you don't have a loss, they're happy. And that's just how it is. It's why it's really, at this point, it's really not worth having nothing in this country, because they ain't gonna let you have nothing. They ain't gonna let you be in peace. They're gonna charge you an arm and a leg to live. You ain't gonna be able to buy groceries. You ain't gonna be able to insure nothing. They're gonna require it. It's just like gonna be a hassle. Which is gonna be how you end up with people in cities relying on the 15-minute city where everything is on foot. You don't have to pay for transportation. Like, they're gonna make the open air prison sound good. But again, this is the part of where we're all been thrust into chaos before the order comes, before the better option comes. So just pay attention to what's happening, because this is going to be a current theme we're going to see throughout 2025. And I personally don't know whether it's judgment or man-made, but even if it's man-made, the Most High allows things to happen because it is also a part of judgment on this nation. They have treated Yah's people terribly. They have turned a blind eye to the atrocities done to us. They have not done reparations. They have not properly compensated us. They have not apologized properly. They have not sought repentance. And so, as long as we here, It's gonna be rough for everybody. So we gotta buckle up, and even our people are gonna have to pay because they are too unrepentant. Um, so I just want to share this story with you about the insurance policies being canceled. In the event that you have insurance policies you need to review, or you've been receiving letters in the mail, please make sure that you open up your mail about the insurance policies, because I recall one story that I did about people in Florida. Somebody didn't open their mail, and then their policy went up a whole lot of money, and they couldn't really afford the new um, premium. But because they didn't open the mail in time, it was really nothing that could be done except for change insurance companies, which they didn't really want to do. And I think, it was a big stink. But anyway, pay attention to your insurance policies. Make sure you're opening your mail, because everything is changing. The terms of so many things are changing, and they're not changing for our benefit. So with that said, I'm going to end this video now. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've experienced changes, hikes in premiums, cancellations. If you know anybody that's impacted by the fires or impacted by cancellations, it'd be very helpful for you to talk about those things. Or if people have experienced a increase in premiums to where it's really becoming difficult to maintain your home. That will also be helpful to share with others so that people will know what that looks like, because we have these conversations and we're talking about different parts of the country, um, where there are lots of natural disasters, but also lots of expensive properties. And so, sometimes a lot of us are disconnected from that. So if you're in one of those markets, or if you just have experience either firsthand or via a friend or something, it'd be just good to know about those things. All right, y'all. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Odyssey and Rumble. The links are in the description. If you'd like to support the channel, this channel is not monetized. Links for my Venmo and my coffee are in the description. Any donations would be greatly appreciated. Lastly, continue to pray, seek the Most High, obey those laws, statutes, and commandments. Repent daily for your sins of commission and sins of omission. Pray that the Most High holds back judgment on his people, because judgment will begin with the house of Israel, and we ain't ready for nothing. So, um, also, if you're planning on donating to any organization, excuse me, any organization in California that is going to assist victims of the wildfires, my suggestion is do not donate to the Red Cross. Do not donate to any national organization that will distribute money, because that money a lot of times doesn't get to the people that it needs to get to, or some of these organizations have a ugly history of serving not our people. So work with organizations that are going to work with our people locally first. And I would try to find organizations like, churches or social organizations that are grassroots in those communities to help first. I'm not saying don't help rich people, but rich people are rich. They may have insurance, or they may have something else that the poor people don't have. So again, help the poor people first. Help your own people first. There was a black community over there as well that was almost completely lost. So I can't remember something that starts with the A. I think it was in this. It's a picture of it in this. There it is. It was Altadena, California. So I think that is also a place where there's a huge black population. Our people need help. So again, if you're going to help, look for organizations that are not national in nature, that don't have a bad reputation for not spending money, not completing audits, and that is really grassroots. Like, look for the local nonprofit organizations that you can just go directly to their links and donate, and not through some vehicle like a United Way or like a Red Cross. And I'm just telling you from personal experience, they don't distribute the money the way that they should. It's a very biased process. And a lot of times, the people who need the money the most don't get it because they don't have the track record, but they have the, you know, hands in the community. They got the heartbeat of the community. So pray for discernment uh, when donating, but I strongly recommend not giving to any national organizations. Don't do what everybody else does. Take your time and donate um, with care. All right, y'all. This is Marla K. Love y'all, and I'm out.